Let's check this guy out. Let's go to Louisiana. Trey in Louisiana. Trey, what's going on?
Now, look, I want to tell y'all a true story. This is when I lived in Atlanta, Georgia from 2002 to 2008. And anyone in the ATL want to fact check me. The place I'm in question where I work was right around the 7500 block of Roswell Road in between Locos and the post office. Now, when I moved there, Jim, rent was a little more. So for like 3 or 4 months, I had to get a second job. And my second job was delivering pizzas. And so I get to work one night, and there's a pizza waiting for me. It says John. It's a large pizza. So I go there, knock on the door. No one answers. I go back to my car. I'm sitting there. And by the time I decide, well, John's SOL, I'm out of here, he pulls up. He gets out of the car carrying a 12-pack of Milwaukee's Best. It's John freaking Rocker.
Wow.
Now, he walks up to me. The total is $18.69. He gives me $20, doesn't say a word, takes the pizza out of my hand, and walks inside. And so I took it to where I could actually keep that $1.31 for myself. And I wasn't really blown away with the fact that a millionaire gave me a $1 tip. I was more confounded by the fact this dude's got 7 figures in the bank, and he's slamming Milwaukee's Best. I mean, what's wrong, John? Were they out of the kind that just says beer on it? I mean, come on, dude. But then I was thinking, it occurred to me, is that even if you got 7 figures in the bank, that can't even put a dent in good old white trash DNA. On war, but I digress, guy. And yes, that's you, Fozzie. And War, Hawks, Paramecium, and Amoeba shirts. And don't worry, Hawk, we know you've never heard of biology. And War, Professor Silk, addressing all Hooters waitresses. I'm a
Trey in Louisiana. You can rack him. Got a fondness for Trey.
Rack him.
I like the way he sounds. I like what he says. And most of all, I like the way he says it. Trey in Louisiana, my man. Keep pounding. Keep pounding, Trey. Keep working. Not good enough for a golden ticket yet, but if I'm not mistaken, he's made 2 phone calls, and I think they've both been racked. You got some momentum now, Trey. Stay strong. See, the problem with that is he tells a great story. In and of itself, it's fine. But that tips a lot of you off to story time. Remember the story from the lady who called up and said that she tried to get a newspaper, and as she reached in to take the newspaper, Dan Marino just jumped out of a bush and ripped one as well while the thing was open. You remember that?
Dan Marino.
I don't want to turn this into story time, but Trey had a pretty good story.